Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1933 Underwood No.6 vintage desktop typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. And I like to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is this main roller. And the paper fingers are also adjustable. And you want to make sure that when you feed the page, it threads through the brackets on the paper fingers. So just want to move it so it threads through straight, just like that. And the margins are located up front. This is your right margin, so you just want to make sure that the margins are in between those fingers so you don't type over them. And that looks about right. Pretty close. And this is your left margin. It's close to 0, so we're just going to keep it right there. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning. It skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, flip the switch down 1, it skips 2. 1 more, it skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep it on single and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on the next line. Absolutely beautiful typing machine. Nothing else types like this. The way it feels, the way it sounds, is just, can't replicate this. You can't build these anymore. You really have to go with these vintage typewriters to get that feel. This also has a decimal tab, so I'm going to show you how to use that. So when you hit that first one, it's a period, and you hit that, it gets you to the first tab, which is set back here, and you can pull these off and set them anywhere you want on this rack. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once you hit that decimal, it'll stop at each one of those, just like this. Until you get to the end of the margin. But we're going to mess with just that first one for now and do the decimal tab. So I hit the period, which is just a normal tab, and then I do 0.00. Go back to the beginning on the next line, and then hit the 1, and I'm going to do 1.00, and then all the way through the 10, 10.00, 100, 100.00, 1000. So what this does is it basically sets the decimal point to be in the exact same spot every time, even though you go over a digit to the left. So that's really cool. And this is it's pretty rare to have that. So it's pretty unique typewriter. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side. You just flip it down, and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that up before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Got a shift on each side and a shift lock on the right. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the top left, works good. Color selector switch on the top right. Right now it's all the way to the right, which prints the top portion of the ribbon. We have a solid black ribbon, so we're just going to print that top portion. And if you have a black and red, you would switch that over to the left. And the vibrator just goes up a little bit higher, so it prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. And fun fact, you can double use your black ribbon if you just switch that once it's used all the way up. And if you have it in the middle, it doesn't print anything at all. The vibrator doesn't go up, so it just leaves an indentation like a stencil for copying purposes. On the right side here, we have the ribbon ratchet plus direction control. So right now, all the brand new ribbon is loaded on this right side. So we want it to pull to the left by pushing it in. If you push it in, you can wind it and it'll pull to the left. If you pull it out, it'll pull to the right and you can wind it. And it does have an automatic ribbon reverse. It has a mind of its own. This is how you tighten and loosen the tension on the carriage. This is the main spring that pulls the carriage when you type. When you pull this down, it'll loosen it. You have to loosen the screw first, and then you can pop this. If you pop this down, it'll loosen it like a couple notches. And if you want to tighten it, you just turn that tight, the screw here tightened. I got the tension where I want it, so I'm not going to mess with that. If you pull out this little lever at the end of the knob, it'll disable the spacing when you turn the knob. You push it in, you get to the clicks. The function of that is so you can get to an exact spot on the page without having to navigate through the clicks. And the same concept with this lever here. You lift it up, it'll disable the spacing. You push it back, get those clicks. And that is it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.